Okay, we are live.
Morning.
We are live. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. We are into part 3 of our series concerning the Cash Gernon case. I want to welcome everybody. Was running a little late, had some things to take care of, and noticed the time on the clock, so I had to push it up a half, but just getting in, and I said, let me boot up my computer because I've got a date with destiny. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for joining us this evening. We've got a lot of people coming in, going to continue to come in. We've got content creator MTGV TV in the house. And hopefully we will have a couple of moderators to come and join us. As we always do. I don't know if I saw any of my moderators in here yet, but it looks like y'all are here before my moderators are here. My goodness. Okay. Welcome, 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 everybody. We have covered some very valuable information, I see, in our last 2 lives, trying to understand a lot of information in a short period of time. In part 1, we covered the video surveillance footage of the night and day video that was given to us by the Daily Mail concerning what had happened to Cash Gernon. And there was some incredible information, incredible response, incredible reaction to what we had seen from everyone. Mr. Boss Blake, welcome. And we were able to cover what we saw. It's a matter of perception. And based on the comments that were left under that live in the description area, you guys blew me away. And blew me away in a way to where you got the picture, you got the understanding as to, what we had to do in order to take a look at a scene we've never seen before, understand something nobody could possibly understand, but yet get ready and be prepared to take a look at something in a critical way, and using critical thinking, logical thinking, and begin a laser beam look at the events that occurred in that first live with the video surveillance footage. 3 minutes and 57 seconds long as to what we saw. Perception plays a very important role in this. How we see things and what we feel about things, and then what we say about things, play a very important role. And not only this case, but in our lives in general. I want to thank you all for joining me this evening to cover some additional information, because this story is unfolding. As fast as we can get it to you, as fast as we can catch up to it. Okay? And the importance of following a story like this is to make sure that the thing that we all seek in this story, like all other stories like it, is to get justice, is to see justice, the right justice done. In part 2, we took a look at some additional information and evidence, a video interview that was given by one of the family members, Cameron Mart. And he was able to, I guess, give us everything that we needed in terms of what he knew about what had happened. And he gave it to us in a way that was kind of like a scratch on the head. Well, if he knew how the intruder got in, and it was through the garage door, and that garage door is kind of, rickety rackety, it needs oil, it squeaks a lot, makes a lot of noise. Why didn't it wake everybody up that was in the house that morning? We find out a little bit more information as to how the household um, lives its daily life, so to speak. We know that these folks don't go to bed like 9 o'clock at night because it is a young household. And so we found out that there was some late night, wee hour, morning hours that were involved in this particular case. They gave us that information, and in a way that says there's a whole lot more to this than we know. And there's a whole lot more of this than they are giving us. Now, with that said, we saw and heard what Cameron Morey gave us. And he gave us his own story as to what had occurred. He led us through the house. He allowed us to see things in the house that we didn't see. He took us to the bedroom where the boys were. He showed us the crib that the boys slept in, the size of the room that the boys had, how the room was made up. A lot of information. He showed us the way in, and he showed us the way out. The Daily Mail, being the ones responsible for releasing that information, made it public, gave it to us for us to see. And so, with that said, we now can take that first video surveillance footage along with the second video, the interview, and begin to tie together what makes sense and what doesn't. So tonight, we're going to have a discussion, a good discussion, because I'm going to open up the panel. I'm going to drop the link inside the chat room. We're going to talk about parts 1 and 2, because based on your comments from the 2 lives that we've covered, you guys got a lot of things to say, and we want everyone to hear it. We're going to be taking a look at the evidence again, but we're also going to have additional commentary, not only from myself, but from you tonight. You. That's going to be our discussion for tonight. Welcome, everybody. We're just getting started. I did run a little late. Thank you for being patient and hanging in here. That shows a lot of love for the work that we're doing. And wow. So we got Boss Blake in here, content creator. We've got Cat's Eye in here, a happy hippie in here. No thanks. Doug is in here. We've got Joey Wilson in here. All in Tanks in here. Colleen Francios. I'll just say Colleen. She knows who she is. She's in here. Hawkeye's in here. Joey Wilson's in here. Iris Rose is in here. Ann is in here. Tina Monroy is in here. Lisa Jessica is in here. Jessica Moon is in here. Kentucky's Princess is in here. Tracy's in here. Humongous D is in here. Or Humongous, my brother, is in here. We got a host of others. My goodness. Alice McGill is in here. Let's Talk News is in here. Jennifer Rebecca is in here. Miss Philly G is in here. True Gift is in here. Uprising is in here. CJ Jones is in here. Joey Wilson's in here. Carolina Blue is in here. Skeet is in here. Norma C is in here. Terry Scalero is in here. Mary H is in here. Lisa is in here. Danielle Marie is in here. Heather Ann is in here. I Am Victorious is in here. Lori Harvey is in here. Carolyn Garner is in here. Wow. And the list goes on. Love Me 2412 is in here. Kentucky's Princess is in here. I said Kentucky's Princess. Okay. Can't give you a double shout out. Sean Washington is in here. Shits and Giggles is in here. Ann D is in here. Maxine Harkness is in here. Kathleen is in here. Evolve Maya is in here. Lori Harvey is in here. Kimberly Earls is in here. Sherry Corwin is in here. Debbie Smith is in here. D Soul is in here. TJ Cook is in here. Dawn Hosley is in here. Wow. Okay. Y'all take my breath away. Anyway, if I missed your name, I don't mean to. It's just that we want to make time of the essence because time is of the essence. So tonight, let us do this. Let me get started. I need to get things in here. I wasn't able to set up anything yet. So give me a moment and we will begin. Part 3 tonight. The story unfolds in the Cash Gernon case. And we will do this and be back in a few seconds. Be right back, folks. Okay. Let us get it set. All right. Where we began is where we'll start. Let me just do this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to drop the link down up in the chat. So that we can begin bringing folks up one at a time so that we can begin to cover part 1 and then part 2 of the video series that we've covered so far. Mr. Boss Blake, if you can hit and click that link, that would be great. And we can begin with Mr. Boss Blake, and then I'll call a few others to come up. Doug, stay in the room because I'd like for you to come up. We have some talking to do. I'm just going to pause this right here. And freeze frame. Okay. While the frame is frozen, and you can see it before you, this was the point in my investigation that caught my attention the most. A lot of people believe that this is Darian Brown. Then there are some that believe that this is Cameron Morey. There have been a lot of comments made and posted on both lives, and it's good that I'm glad that everyone made a comment, an opinion on this particular piece of information, because this is the evidence that we have to talk about. And we're going to get maybe some definitive answers tonight, I hope, bringing on board content creators that have been following the case, and getting their viewpoint and perspective as to the claim that I made in our last live, part 2. I believe, and I said that this was my opinion, I believe that this is Darian Brown. I showed you photographs and pictures profiling Darian Brown from this particular scene, and then pictures and photographs of Darian Brown in the relationship to this scene, identifying sideburns, identifying hairlines, identifying hair makeup, identifying chin, nose, lips in a side profile. This is how I was able to come to that conclusion to say that this appears to me to be Darian Brown. So with that said, we're going to at least begin our live tonight, picking it up from there. Bring on, we got AB in the house. AB, are you good?
Hey, John, I was just sitting in the back listening to you. That's all. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was sitting back eating candies.
Oh, what kind of candy?
Milk duds, actually. God, I love those.
That's right. That's your favorite. That's
Dree
right.
caramel candy.
Okay. Well, welcome to the platform. Welcome to John Q's channel. This is the first time you've been on here. Mm-hmm. I know that you've been covering this case on your channel. This is AB, the brother from upstairs, I call him, who's been covering the case and basically educating me way in the beginning when I first started looking at the case, in information that he was able to gather and to really dig deep into the insights and really put out some very, very excellent, good content on this case investigation. So AB, welcome. Welcome.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. I'm here to contribute any way that you wish possible, but just ask me anything you wish as you're going through this. It's a bit of an open panel. I understand the concept, but you believe that this is Gernon, or Darian Brown. I'm kind of under the same understanding as well. That doesn't mean that he isn't, at this point in time, if you don't mind me saying, the controversy is that what was going on just prior to this, mm-hmm. What was going on during the time, or the time leading up to this kidnapping in that house in the area.
Right.
And I guess that's kind of why we're here tonight. And I feel that, a bit refreshed knowing that, that's, unfortunately, it's still a question in the unresolved in the death of Gernon, but it still gives us something to talk about. Unfortunately, there's a reason why. There's probably more reasons why Cameron Morey and Monica put that Daily Mail interview out so early in the way that they did, like volunteering all that kind of information when they did is incredibly suspicious in any sort of situation.
Right.
You know, what motivated them to jump the gun before anything had happened? Usually in a situation like this, you would just let the police come in. Why did they have to then say, whoa, no, here, then they have to sell their stories. It's not just about making the money. There's probably a lot of different little reasons here, but the prime one is that they have something to hide, and we have to figure out what that is. I can't sleep at night because even though I agree that Darian Brown is an out of control maniac, so are a lot of those people in that home by choice. So whoever's in that neighborhood and the gaggle of convicts that come through there, the tweakers that come through trying cars and stealing stuff from the neighborhood weekly, you know, they're probably at some level all controlled by the same the same individual or individuals, group of individuals that are not doing the legwork. They send their little guys out like this to, you know, do the legwork, and they bring the shit back, and then they'll exchange it for drugs or cash.
Right. And in that neighborhood, you know, it just seemed as though there was a group of them, you know. And one of my questions I had on another channel that I wanted to try to get an answer on was Darian Brown a part of a gang, you know, that ran the streets, looking and searching for ways to, you know, put money in their pocket by going into neighborhoods and going on in residents in the neighborhood, searching cars and searching for valuable things that they could possibly convert into cash. You know, being that he's 18, he's hanging around those that age group, if you will, of guys. That's what ran through my head. And so I wanted to see if someone knew whether Darian was part of a group or a gang or some kind of street activity.
Well, he would have to off his load and shit like that because he's dressed. Like, you see how he's dressed. He obviously has to take it somewhere, and that'll be the same place he gets his drugs or anything like that. But there's an end to all this. He doesn't just put it up on Kijiji for himself, or, you know, there'll be people in that group, in that little group that they all know. And that's probably what they're hiding. They're layering away from that individual,
right?
You know, which I'm just saying probably, of course, but you know, that's my suspicion.
Okay, all right, Mr. Boss Blake, if you're in the house, please click the link. If you are still here, brother, we definitely want to have your input on this. I also have Doug, who's in the backstage. I'm going to bring him on.
Is this all at one time, or do you want me? I didn't want to intrude on your already pre-planned. I just kind of joined when I thought it was an open panel, so I just.
Oh no!
I didn't want to step on your toes by any means.
No, absolutely not. I dropped the link. You know, you happened to click that link, so I wanted you to be up here and on board with tonight's discussion in regards to our Sunday live that we did in regards to part one, covering this video surveillance footage, which I know you have and Doug has on you know, your channel. And I wanted to get your input on some of the things that you saw, some of the things that are
can I add an extra remark as well, John?
What's that?
Let me add an extra remark too in regards to
sure.
I know we don't like to mention other channels, but I don't mind mentioning because I have to prop her up. SP News Nuggets. There's been some controversy in her being down in Dallas, and I just like to take a moment to say I think it's great what she's doing. SP is still, I was listening in today, she's still asking the pertinent questions, and she has every right to be suspicious. And her suspicions, excuse me, most of them represent mine. I don't want to, you know, adopt her theories. There's some that we don't, but I'm saying and we as a group have every right to be a little suspicious of the cover up here. You can't let these little lies slip, or you're allowing what it is we're trying to prevent here, you know, to all fall on Darian Brown's shoulders. And that's what it's going to come down to at the end of the day.
Right.
Can we all agree that people are fair game when they go out and put themselves in the Daily Mail and put themselves out and making themselves a public figure? Is it okay at that point for us to actually, it's not an attack, it's more of an investigation, trying to figure out all the stuff that they aren't telling us
Well, there's a
and matching up
catch-22
to
with
the
that, Doug.
lies? So,
Because, not to interrupt, I apologize, because
no
when you
problem.
go live like that, it in the effort of a sympathy ploy, that's what you expect. You expect that feedback so you can then use as leverage, oh, you're just attacking me, I'm the actual victim here. And that's the cloud that you're anticipating that you can hide behind, I would imagine.
I believe you're right too. I believe that they use the Daily Mail also as the way to get their story out, because when you're on drugs, you always think that you got the best next idea. And the best next idea for them was to create a narrative and a story through the Daily Mail. But what happened was it opened a door for all of us to actually see into the lives of these people, because once we compared it to the actual news source, mainstream media, which didn't get so inclusive into the house and be able to show us the things the Daily Mail was able to show us. I think it was important the way it played out, and I think God played in a big role there. And having these criminals or whatever they're doing, whether they're involved or not in the death of Cash, they're still involved in stuff that's not good. So God's stepping in, and God's going to make sure that these people are known, and if people are around them, they got to be cautious of these acts.
Well, you expect us to believe, like, as far as the Sherrod clan go, you expect us at home to believe that you live by no rules at your house, and someone just victimized you by breaking in and stealing a child that you had no care of. You have free range kids around there. This is ridiculous. Of course, there's more going on. That's what they're covering up.
What you guys? Sorry, I have a lag, AB.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, bro.
That's okay. So do I.
I have a lag.
Go ahead, Doug.
Okay. I was going to get back to where you guys said, is Darian Brown in a gang? I don't think he's intelligent enough to be in a gang. And if you know the mobs and things like that, if you know what a donkey is someone they're going to use and make them feel like they're a part of the family, whether they're a hang around or something like that. A lot of the times they use these people as donkeys. Yes. So if something's going to go down, these people are the ones who get in trouble, and they're not intelligent enough to fish themselves out of it. Especially when you put, two half the brains together from a few people.
All the risk falls on them, especially in the drugs. Like if you're controlling the meth with these people are all addicted to, that keeps them running up all night and all through the night on the edge. It's the same person involved.
Right.
It's
well,
always
we do have two other guests that are on board on the panel. We have Let's Talk News. If you want to say hello, please say hello, dear.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing good. And then we also have Joey Wilson on board as well. Say
Hi,
hello.
Joey. Hi, Let's Talk News.
Can you see me?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, you guys.
Can you see Joe?
Yes. I mean, you guys
all four
are.
Of you guys.
Yeah,
okay,
you guys
cool.
are on board. Okay. So in the video surveillance footage that we have before us on the screen, which everyone has analyzed and looked at and gave their thoughts and comments on, there was I would say a minor point of contention regarding the light in the window. So I wanted to ask, Let's Talk News. We can begin with, to begin with that question. Was there anything regarding the light in the window that you came to a conclusion on?
Yeah, it's my opinion.
Yes.
I think that is Cameron in the night vision. There's a few things that I can see as far as the reason why I think that. First, the hair. So I know you guys keep saying that it's braids, but you can see that it's curly hair. Plus, Darian's hair is not long enough to sit over how he has a headband or some kind of band over his head, and it makes the hair even longer. You can't do that with braids. Like if your braids are your braids. You can't do anything with them. They can't get longer. But curls, you can flatten the top of it, and it'll bring it down. That's why it looks like bangs because it sits like over close to his eyebrows.
Okay.
Can I
Darion's hair
ask
was around
John? Do
enough
you
to
mind?
keep
Do you
it
mind
up.
if I ask a question? Because I don't have long
Yeah.
hair. So
Sure.
with bangs or curls or braids, I'm assuming braids are wrapped tighter, so they wouldn't have as much bounce to it. Curls would have more bounce and more leeway to stretch it out or
Exactly.
change. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I know what you're saying. I didn't.
That's exactly
Okay.
what I mean. And then the other thing with the light, I don't know why I think this, but I just really feel this way. And I actually seen Monica driving. I was told, I mean, from what I understood is that she wasn't driving, but she was driving on that one when she was sitting there talking to a certain person. I know you guys don't like name people on here. And she was driving, telling the people who are on her side and Cameron's side, thank you, I appreciate it. But everybody else, F yourself, basically, the hell with you guys, because, you know, you're saying things about her and her son. I think she was the one in that window with her camera looking at what he's doing in there and kind of letting him know what he needs to do next. Because as you can see, the light get lit up, really lit up, and he bends down, grabs him, and goes. And then that light is gone.
Can I ask you, if you say she's looking at from the outside of the window in with her camera, the
With her
actual
phone.
light,
No, she's
the
looking-
actual light of the camera would be reflecting towards the street, not into the window, because the light of the
I'm
camera is
saying
facing her.
she actually you can actually with your phone you can put a light on as well as you could be looking at your phone. You could do two things with your phone.
What about the stop sign right there in the street in front of the house? You don't think it's a car, and then it goes out of the picture and it's square like a car light? I mean, that's what I foresee it as
just
being.
happens simultaneously. That's why I think it might have been that.
Well, yeah, but he didn't react to that car light like he reacted to that red flash from the camera that was in the room.
Okay, you're talking about when he looked at the camera?
Yeah, when he actually looks at the camera, you'll see a red flash, and I don't know if it's a cut or if that camera is actually taking a picture. I actually discussed it in one of my videos because it was odd. And also the recording where they said he's talking to somebody. It's actually it seems like that recording was added or the audio was added because you can hear it repeat itself 2 or 3 times in the sentence of the same word before it moves on to the next sentence. So. We'll have to X out the audio, and again, like John did, and cut out the audio and watch with your eyes and not with your ears. It depicts a different picture, and it shows a lot more when you're using your other senses to see that what they were doing at that time. And he didn't react like he was waiting for a car to be for him on the outside. That's the first thing I thought. Like if there was a car involved, that would have been the car light that would have been waiting for him at the corner and then turns out to the house. I'm assuming that could have been if there was somebody else involved. That could have been a car that was involved in this. And he took too long. He struggled. He waited. He looked around. He didn't know what he was doing. He was checking his exits. He was checking if people were coming. He had his hand up to his ear like he had a device in his ear. I'm not sure, but that light to me seems like a car light. And again, I don't know.
Okay. Can I add something, Doug?
Yeah, no, I was saying it wasn't car light. I think it was a phone light, like the light on the phone. Basically, because it's
the phone light wouldn't be reflecting that way because it would be facing someone's face.
Despite what we believe, whether it's a car, what it is, it's going to be virtually impossible at this point in time to determine what it is. What we all can agree on here is it's either one of a couple things. We both agree that it shouldn't be there. But immediately across from that, because if you look at the aspect ratio on the screen, there is that double pane soundproof glass. Like remember Ace Ventura said, the thing, and that's what it is right behind him. So what we can agree on is that either there's something out on the road, which I wouldn't think that you could see a light from the road from that level. I believe that the elevation of the house would be elevated.
That's not true because if there's
no, hold on, Doug. But that's not what I'm saying.
What
I'm saying is
sign will actually refract the light
back through. It could be something coming back through that
you're seeing happening in the other room.
But it has nothing to do with Darian that he's giving out. It has nothing to do with Darian. So there's somebody else there, and there's probably something else going on in the background at the same time. That is the suspicion. Whether what it is, I'm not sure, but it's either one of two things: there's the car theory, or someone outside that window theory, or it could be somebody in the background filming it through that double pane soundproof glass in that other room that's
Would a
behind there,
mirror-
just watching it in the
Would a
background.
mirror
Right. Okay.
would a mirror from that
Okay.
cabinet give that reflection to the window if the light from the camera's hitting
Maybe.
that? Maybe.
Is there a mirror on that 3-tier?
There's like an armoire or some kind of cabinet that we see in the light when Cameron's doing the walkthrough.
An armoire, but I don't believe
go
it's
back.
it's
have
a
to go
mirror
back. It
because
could be
there's
an item that
a skim board. There's a vision
It would
skim
happen.
board on it.
It would
Hold on
happen
one
every
second.
time.
Hold
It
on one
would
second.
happen.
Hold
It would
on one
happen
second.
every- Okay.
One second. Everybody's, I'm feeling everybody, and that's good. That's good. I want to get Joey's also input on, we're specifying, one point of contention in this video is everyone has seen this light in the window where the curtains are. And I want to get everyone's point of view as to what they believed they thought it was in a short, easy, quick explanation. We don't want to stay too much on it because there are other points I want to bring up. But Joey, are you there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I'm here.
All right.
So-
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think that he's waiting for a signal because he keeps looking there. And why I think that is because why did he go through 2 doors instead of just this one? Because when Cameron said he's tampered with a door, wouldn't he have just tampered with this door? But the reason that they couldn't go out that door is because if you look on Google Earth, that back neighbour has a camera. And I dare say that vision does not, you can't see it when they go out the garage. But I think that he's standing there doing his Hollywood part, trying to look like DB, and then waiting for his signal. That's what I think it is.
Okay. And do you believe that that's DB in the
No.
room standing above the boys?
No, I think
Okay.
they've disguised someone to look like him because if you've disguised yourself, you're not going to look like yourself. But whoever's done this has disguised that guy so that it was easy to say, hey, that's that weirdo that's doing all that stuff in the street.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. And let's talk news. Do you
Yes.
believe that that's DB in the room? Yes or no?
No, not deep.
Okay. Okay. And AB, do you believe it's DB in the room?
I, at this point, am still on the fence.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Only
Doug,
because I'm
Okay.
at the point where I just trust in the forensics. But in this situation, I am highly suspicious of what is occurring in the background and the time leading up to this. And I believe that it's highly probable that there is they're using him as a scapegoat in some fashion. I just have yet to figure that out.
okay.
Are you saying like the
Okay,
time leading up to
so-
this, like this could be a different day?
So
Like,
same
this is not
question,
the
Doug.
video.
No, just the hours and minutes, Doug. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, same question to Doug. Doug, do you believe
I
it's DB in the room?
I believe it's 100% Darian Brown, according to the posture, the facial structure, the stance, the positioning, the way he goes in the morning time, and we know that's DB in the morning as well.
Okay.
At least I do, and the way his arms hang are different and different length than Cameron's. Cameron doesn't have a wingspan, and we've seen that on a video where he holds his arm out next to that armoire or whatever that cabinet is in that room. We see the wingspan difference. So to me, this is an African American male with a extended jawbone and a different shape than Cameron's jawbone.
Okay.
So
All right. So we got that out the way. All right. Let me throw this at you. And we'll begin with Let's Talk News. The
Okay.
light at the window. I came up with the information that says we know that there's a camera in the room because we see the video before us. The camera was posted on a piece of furniture, an armoire, on the top tier level, about the same height as we see the individual in the video right now, which sat directly opposite the window. And so in my last live, I was able to show what that camera looked like from, I think it's Arlo Security Systems, where they have a blinking LED light in the front where the infrared scanner is that
Mhm.
picks up motion. Okay.
Okay.
Being that it's sat opposite the window and an LED light that blinks every time motion is detected, do you believe or think that that was the light that was reflected off the window in the room during the time motion was activated or censored?
No, unless the light like stays on long enough. Normally, don't they just like blink? It wasn't a blink. It was more than a blink.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good. AB?
I'm going to have to say that's there's a possibility of that. However, when he reaches down, and the only part that I would have to really revisit is when he bends down and picks up cash, twists and turns to go in front of the telemetry, the line of sight between that camera and that window is when you start seeing all the movement, but it continues to be movement after he's away from the camera. So there's movement after the fact. So it tells me that there's probably this light source is coming from something else.
Okay. Okay.
I'd have to slightly
Doug?
disagree. I'd have to slightly disagree, just due to the fact that a motion camera, it doesn't flash the way that you guys think it might flash. It just activates the camera to start recording. Just like if you walk past a light on a driveway, what that does, it activates the light to come on. What the camera's activating, it's already night vision. And we've seen what it looked like when it flashes in between. When we've seen the actual footage, we see the flashes. We don't see any other light source go through the window during those flashes. There would be a reflection.
You can toggle that option off as well in your settings through the app. You can turn that mode off. Like the infrared will illuminate, but it'll generally stay on for the certain time before it. And you can adjust those settings.
I don't think they're that smart, AB.
Okay.
Well, she uses it all on her app. So, I mean, it's not too difficult. They make apps for monkeys. And I mean, if Monica's sitting there with the app, it's just a matter of opening up the settings and adjusting the settings. You record and, it's
the same app you can get your book on how to read, right?
Okay. So let's move on to yes.
Joey.
Joey.
So sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I'm trying to be polite, that's all, and wait my turn. But it can't be the camera because it only happens once, and that motion has detected probably 7 times, and you only see that light once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And can I just quickly get out there? You know that there's a sheet pinned to that wall, don't you? It's pinned to that wall underneath that window. And I've been asking, and I just don't know why. Why is that sheet pinned to that wall? Or were they that
pinned? It's just like the airflow is keeping it against their static, maybe?
No. It's actually pinned to that
pinned with a physical
window.
bobby pin?
Pinned like them curtains are pinned on them windows, right?
Okay.
There's a sheet. There's a sheet pinned to that wall underneath that window. Is that just like a lazy rocking job?
So that's a really good point because what you're pointing out is the fact that they're trying to shield what people can see from the outside in.
Yeah, but it's on the wall. So what is on that wall that they're trying to hide? And you can see it in the day.
So those are the blackout blinds. What you see are like the blackout sheets that go over a window to keep the heat out. The one that hangs down.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. It's actually pinned to that wall.
Yeah, can you see my arrow?
Go down.
Are we talking about being pinned?
No, I'm talking about the one hanging down.
Go down, John. Down. No, down. Where am I? Okay, so where the paint cans are, see there where the paint cans are, right? If you look it's behind that.
Oh,
it is actually pinned, yes. It's pinned behind that curtain. And you can see it when the FBI go in the room. You can see it in the day vision. And apparently there was drops of blood on that ledge outside that window. Just had to get that out there. All right? I don't know why. It's
where did it say there was drops of blood? Where I missed that.
I've seen that I've seen that somewhere.
Well, do you have like a website or anything that we could look and see that as factual?
It's like I think it's I don't know.
No. Not I think. Is it factual?
Yes, I've seen the actual picture, but I can't tell
Okay.
you where because I watch so many channels. Like I could find the picture.
Yeah, because this is how some of the stuff gets astray, and when we start doing this, the speculation, it gets away from the
Well-
factual evidence that we're trying to get to.
Well, no, all I'm saying is why is that sheet pinned to it? I only
Right.
mentioned that other bit because that's all I could come up with. I don't actually know why it's pinned there, unless hey, they just didn't want to get a new sheet of gyprock, all right, because they didn't want to fix their locks. So I'm not trying to say nothing, Doug. I have seen it.
No, and I'm not calling you a liar.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look it up because I haven't seen that yet, so that's
I
important.
will find it. I will find that.
Somebody in the chat said
may
it was
I
in the
recommend
news.
Triggered Crimes, Doug? Check
What
Triggered
happened, bud?
Crimes channel because she has them all compressed and the skinny on all the videos and probably the most detailed
It's not on the curtains.
zoom ins.
It's
Okay.
on the outside, them little bricky things that, you know.
Like the windowsill area?
Yeah, but on the outside.
Got it. Okay.
And yes.
I thought you were talking about on the curtains in the inside, which means that that could change it to where he could have been killed right in that room. Okay.
Do you guys remember the picture of that outside window?
I don't think it's a murder. I don't even think Cash was murdered. I think it's an accident and they've had to cover it up somehow. But the cover up is very, very evil. All right.
Well, if you think about a cover up,
that's in my opinion.
If somebody could actually stab a dead carcass of a child, they should automatically just go to hell. I mean, there shouldn't even be a trial. There shouldn't be anything. They should be shot down. I'm hoping that's not the case.
Right person. They've just got to get the right person. That's all.
Now watch when he goes to pick it. Watch when he goes to pick him up.
Okay, so let's go to this part. We're watching now on the video surveillance the approach to Cash, where there seems to be now confirming and committing to some degree his actions in the room.
So he's looking waiting.
Seem to be, yeah. So
Waiting
he's
for his
being
signal.
very cautious. Yeah, he's being very cautious. He's taking his time. This is not a typical go in and steal and come out as quickly as you can. This is
There's
very
convenience involved, right, John? Do you see this as a convenience grab?
Yes, I believe that there is.
Okay.
So yes, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity grab. So here, you know, we get to see a few what appears to be video edits or light motion detection to reactivate the camera to continue video recording. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
When we see,
before you move it real quick, he's looking right at Carter to make sure that Carter doesn't see him. I think he's looking at Carter right now.
Yes, I believe he is.
Yeah,
that's a position that he's holding himself in right now.
How about you? To see if Carter's asleep.
Can I ask something, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now imagine it's quite possible that considering the band of individuals that come up to raid those houses, look at that window now, and that these guys love peeking in windows and seeing, especially with houses that they know that they can enter. That there's quite possibly somebody out that window looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're talking about this window here
for a bigger robbery.
Yeah.
We're talking about this window here.
Let's look at their garage.
Okay.
They have all their shit, all that stuff in their garage. They could have just taken all that stuff out of their garage and came up. I mean, they only had to open their garage, really.
Okay, so we'll continue.
With that window open like that, but like when you look at the pictures in the daytime, not when Darion's there, but like afterwards when they start showing everything, you know, like the tour and all that, that window's not open in that crack right there. You see how it's kind of open? Like it's lifted up.
Okay, so let's go back 1 second.
Okay.
Let's pay attention here to the motion he makes while he extracts cash from the crib, and then at the same time watch the window.
Okay.
Ready? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the motion.
I just saw a
Let me do
flash.
Yeah, let me do it again.
I
Let me
just
do
saw
it
a
again.
flash.
Yep, let me do it
There
again.
it is.
And that's what tells me that there is a motion detected from his pivoting and swinging Cash into position to take him out of the room. Watch it again carefully.
Okay.
Here it comes. There it is. Once again,
Yes.
one more time. Watch the window. Watch the motion.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
getting
it
ready
did.
to commit. Watch it. Yeah. You see?
It did.
Okay.
Boom.
But
Do you
Right there.
wouldn't it
He's
happen
got the lights
when
on
he
his
first
backpack.
walks in?
Do you
Yeah.
see those two lights on his backpack? There
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
to me
Right.
like there's a reflection coming off his backpack to that window or something, because
Okay.
there's light anomalies that are
Okay.
inside. There shouldn't
The
be
Nike
inside.
symbol, that or Adidas
We'll ta-
symbol,
we'll ta-
whatever that symbol
we'll
is.
take a
It
look
yeah.
at
has
it
like a
again.
silver reflector on his back. You know, like how they have like the silver and then it'll reflect off
There
of
it is.
light?
Adidas has a silver
Yes.
on a lot of the backs of the jackets. So there's a
Right.
lot of whether it's on the jacket or the
Yeah.
backpack, I'm not sure at this point.
Right.
No.
But I believe something's reflecting off that reflector, off his backpack and into a window or something, to where if he moves, he turns. It looks, if he was going to move left, the light would go right. If he moves right, the light would go left. So
Right.
we got to kind of think maybe
Watch it
it's a
again.
reflection even off his backpack.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. And so here is where I believed that light indicator went off because motion was made during the time that he pulled, pivot, and then carried, and then we actually see the light dip out at the
Yeah,
same time. The
I see
next
it
time
now.
the light comes on is when Carter begins to move his head slightly, and then the video ends. Let's take a look at that. Watch carefully. It's in regular motion. He steps out. Watch the window. Carter moves. There's the light. And then it dips back out. So that's what told me that
Oh, yeah, and when
the
Carter
camera
moved, it
must
did
have been.
again. It did it again.
So
when
Yeah.
Carter moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're
Let's
going
do
to
it
put
one
this
more
into
time.
percentages, if we're going to put this into percentages, what percentages can we just chalk this up to maybe being a car light? 10%, 9%, 5%? What do we think that we could?
It's
I think
getting
it's a
less now
mobile.
to me. It's getting less since he said that.
It would have to be a
Yeah, no.
jacked
What I'm
up,
saying is that maybe
truck.
we can start. Maybe we can start crossing stuff off the list. You know, getting a
Okay.
general consensus of what we all think is just important. I'm not saying it's a
Yeah.
reflector off the backpack. I'm just saying that's a possibility. Those are the
Yes.
only things that I could think of outside of it being outside of the window or inside the house would be a reflection off the person, and that's the
Okay.
only reason
Right.
why I brought that up.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's a good point, Doug. That's a very good point. So moving on, we have this motion, we've got this light, we have a conclusion to this particular crime scene now. It is a crime. And the
Right.
only crime that we have here that can be proved is basic kidnapping at this
Right.
point. Because at this point, we can't tell what happened to Cash after he got snatched.
Right.
Agreed? Fair enough?
Agreed.
Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, because we don't see anything else after that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now with this motion, detection, light going off, we know that the Arlo security system allows one to get a notification or an alarm on a cell phone device.
Right.
Okay. So now,
All their
I did-
bloody mobiles, mate. They must have been flat that night.
I'm sorry, say again?
All their bloody mobiles. They must have been flat because none of them got alerted.
Right, exactly. So would it would it mean to anyone here on the panel, and I'm going to ask the chat, do you believe Monica Sherrod received a notification or a signal that this was happening at this specific time? Now, they say it's close to 5 a.m. here.
Yes. I say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, someone did.
What are we
Okay.
agreeing that she's getting it received on? Is it through a cell phone or the
Her
receiver
cell
that would
phone.
come with a baby
Yeah.
camera? Because I'm just wondering, what are we thinking camera wise she had? Was it more more than the night vision baby cameras that go to your receiver that you hear noises and you'll wake up to and you'll be able to see what's going on? Or are we thinking that, it's like an outdoor camera where the motion will pick it up and it'll start recording straight to your phone, an
Right.
SD card?
Didn't John tell us?
Well, I don't know exact camera that they have in there, and I didn't hear that if he did tell us.
Oh no, another video. I'm sure John. Didn't you do a video about it, John? About the Arlo camera?
Yes, I did. I did the last live covered information on the Arlo security system camera, where these are wireless cameras that can be activated. And
okay, I owned an Arlo. I own the Arlo system for my old property.
Okay,
so
good.
I know I understand how the Arlos work, and then it goes into a file, and there's and you can have it, and you can set it up to record a certain amount of time after the motion. You can set it up to alert you different ways.
Exactly.
And yet, unless they were just knocked out and on a good run with drugs or something where they couldn't wake up to any sounds or whatever, then that would be my only thought of why they wouldn't have got a notification or heard any kind of like, even if someone's walking around and you don't hear them talking, you'll hear a crackling noise on some of the baby cameras and certain cameras. You'll hear a crackling like they're walking or whatever. You'll hear the crackling. You don't always hear the audio and whatnot. And that's what usually wakes somebody up, is when you hear like the like on a baby monitor or something. You hear that, and then the cry or something, it activates. So there had to have been some kind of notification, whether it was an audio or some type of message to their phone or something.
And
Okay,
I'd like to know if Trevor got notifications, because 5 people could.
I still don't think Trevor left in February. I think Trevor was there all the way to the last week of this when this happened. And I don't know if we've gone over that, but I'm still assuming.
I was kind of being sarcastic there.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm still thinking Trevor had some type of entrance to that house and some type of correspondence with Monica the last week of Cash's life at the house.
So that 3 hours, it was to crystal meth clean that kitchen and also for Trevor to get away, probably.
All right, so going to the point of that notification going to Monica's phone, from your experience, Doug, having a security system just like this, you believe that she would have received that notification on her phone when this activity or incident had occurred. It would have been recorded
straight up to a text
right?
message. Yeah, it comes straight to a text message to your phone.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
I have a question. And it also depends on how new the system was, because now, like if you have Wi-Fi, it attaches your cameras to your phone, because my cameras actually go from my receiver to my phone. Like if I could watch anything and everything on my phone away from home as things are happening. So I was wondering.
Arlo's the same way. You can log in live, or you can, or it'll let you know when a notification comes up.
Okay, so it is the new kind of system. So
yes, Arlo is one of the top wireless systems out there, actually.
All right, great. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you guys are doing really good. The chat is doing absolutely excellent. They are responding to a lot of what we are discussing on the panel. We're going to go to the day vision, the day shot. We're actually going to see the room illuminated.
There's the sheet I was talking about.
Yeah.
You can clearly see it in the Daily Mail. Sorry, John.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm used to being interrupted, but
sorry.
That's okay. We try to keep it to a minimum because everyone is eager to express their knowledge and their thoughts about these particular items, because this whole case is important. And tonight we're taking a look at certain pieces, parts, and aspects that have questions. Have had questions during the duration of the investigation and during the cause of the events that have
when
occurred.
He's sitting right there.
What's
his
that?
Head is right out. His head is out of camera shot.
Okay.
Tip of his head. Does that not seem like he's taller in that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's close to the camera going into the room through the sliding glass doors.
Is it that perspective view? Yeah, I guess he's about what a foot away. I'm trying to match up his feet.
Yeah. So we'll get
Yeah, that's
here
what it
where
is.
he stands approximately where we saw the individual stand the night before.
Okay.
And here, obviously, we could see that he's not wearing the same outfits. He's not wearing the hoodie,
Right.
the headband, the backpack. Definitely a change of venue for him, so to speak. But to
Right.
go in and find Carter by himself and not even give an indication at all to where Cash is at, kind of toggled my brain as to the reason why he didn't wake Carter up and ask where his brother was.
Mm.
Are you talking about DB?
Yeah, DB.
So
Mhm.
maybe, because he's mentally unable to do certain things. Maybe he's not, in detail, like a detailed person.
John, what if
Right.
he sees
He
these
looks
individuals
scary.
as a commodity? Like he was on a mission to scoop them up for somebody else, and things went kind of awry, and he just decided to, like he's looking at them as if he's going to pass them off and make money off them, like another
So are you
stolen
talking? Are you
item.
talking about maybe like Monica's ex-boyfriend before Trevor, who doesn't like Trevor and doesn't like the fact that maybe friends with DB may have put DB up to this?
I don't know anything about that.
Right.
Well, she was in a relationship for
but
10 years prior to this with somebody.
I was thinking, no, who I was referencing, Doug, was the individuals that if he is indeed the killer, and he is a fan of methamphetamine, wherever he's taking all his loot back to get exchanged for drugs, whatever, they all run in groups and gangs. I'm wondering if he didn't see Cash Gernon potentially as a commodity to take back to them, knowing that they can off.
He's in the place where he gets his drugs, and he's in the place where he brings back his commodities. He's
You think
already
so?
there.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. He was already
Okay.
familiar with
Okay,
that
so
place. If he doesn't live in that neighborhood and he's stalking that neighborhood, knocking out cameras, stealing shit, the only place he could go back to take that stuff to trade for drugs or sell it or move it from there would be Monica's.
Okay, so
That's a
what
good
we're
point.
going to do right now, is that CME made a comment in the chat room about playing the audio. So we're going to listen for the audio part of this particular clip as carefully as we can possibly get it.
John,
Those at
before you
home
do that,
and
can I
in the-
ask you one thing? John,
Yeah,
before you do that,
one second.
Okay.
I want everyone who has got headphones in the chat. If you have headphones, please put them on. We want to get your input as well as to the audio quality and the sound that you hear, because your feedback in the chat is very important. All right, we got that. And on the panel, please do so as well, so that this way, if there's any audio feedback, we want to get your response on this as well. Okay, but before I do that, let's go back to Doug.
So what I was going to say is that I believe we caught the video, and I believe Cash and Carter are both potty trained. I believe what we're seeing is Carter getting out of the crib and going to the bathroom and coming back in the middle of the night, and Cash is already asleep still. So I believe that this video doesn't jump from the part where they go to bed in the beginning of the night. I believe the video is later in the early morning. And it's that's why we don't see any movement from Cash.
Okay.
Okay, so what did they do with the rest of the video then? From them going into
They
bed
had to
and
edit They had to edit hours out just so they could put it out.
Oh, okay.
They'll be able to tell by the sun anyway in their windows.
It's creative editing, I think, too. To be honest with you, I think there was a point behind the way it was edited as well.
Right. Okay, so we're going to all go silent for a moment, and we're going to listen carefully. Everybody's ready. And I'm going to begin now. And as I do, watch the motion in the room now. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go back again. One more time.
I can hear sirens.
I hear
Yeah,
sirens
that's.
too.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute up. I'm gonna mute up and start again. I've got.
Oh, okay. That's okay. We just were wondering what that was.
Damn it, Jim.
I actually thought I'd never heard it.
I was like,
I was
I
like,
hear
John Q was getting
sirens.
arrested during this whole thing. Damn it. We hear sirens.
So I have a question.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so we heard clearly that there is audio active from what Carter had just mentioned in the room. So we know that the camera has audio capability and was on.
Right.
Your question to me, or question to the panel, or question to the
Anybody
entire
who wants to
chat?
be able to whoever wants to answer it. Basically, my question
Okay,
is,
then
when Carter got into that bed, he had white pants on. They keep saying that, the night vision is going to show differently, even though it is the night vision that makes it look like they're white shorts. Why are his shorts red and white, or blue, dark blue and red? I'm sorry, dark blue and red, or black and red in the morning? I just want to know that.
and different and a different color at night.
Yes, at night they're white with no kind of design, but when you see right there, he's got red on the sides, and they're black or even dark blue.
So what happens in this kind of light when you do the night vision, it reverses colors. So your dark will turn to light and your light will turn to dark. I believe with facial hair, same way. I believe some people say they saw facial hair. I believe that the enhanced soft skin and maybe minor facial hair may have came out depending on the camera type. But I just it's just, to me, it sounds like this audio is added and it doesn't correspond, or it's a speakerphone of someone's phone on and it sounds like someone's talking and directing something. It just doesn't sound like two people talking. It sounds just like one, to me at least.
So black
is it
will be
any way that
black.
it was 2 different days on that video? Could that have been
No,
2 different
No,
days?
black would be white.
No, black will
would
be
be white?
black. No,
Okay, what
black
about
will
the
still
red?
be black, but green, red, all that. And it was proved by the neighbour. He done some, and it was on Molly Golightly's thing. His shirt, it looked like it was, to me, it looked like it was green or something. No, not green. I thought it was white. And when he actually showed what it was actually a green shirt, but the writing on it was still black. So black will still be black, but all the other shades will be grey.
Well, to
Right.
me,
I
if you
just
look at
wanted to-
if you look at the curtains compared to his clothing, you can almost tell the way the lighting changes stuff. It looks to me he's wearing a different color top from a different color bottom. If you're really going to get into it, because it looks like a darker top and a lighter bottom, or vice versa, depending on the way the light refracts. So if you don't agree with it, black going to white and white going to black, then you'd have to assume that it's the color you're seeing. It's just 2 different colors.
I'm just saying that because wouldn't the cot be black in that night vision then? But the cot's still white?
Boss Blake, I had dropped that link for you to come up. We also have Susie coming up.
I might go anyway.
And
I'll
I'll
let
back
others
off too.
come
I
up.
just think they maybe it disqualifies it because when I look at his face is so much brighter than, and I know he's light skinned, but it just looks so much brighter in the night vision. So I was comparing his skin to clothing color to all that to see if I see a different color. But we all see a green uniformed dressed person walk in there in the morning time, I believe,
Yeah.
unless I'm colorblind.
No,
Right.
that looks like it's for me too, as well.
Oh yeah, the daytime's different. I was
Yeah.
talking about nighttime.
Oh,
Sorry,
absolutely.
I'll go and let others come up. But thanks
Okay.
for letting me on panel, John. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for coming up and joining us and giving your input and insights into this. And, we're just going to continue to pursue and fine tune the information going forward so that this way, as future information comes in, we'll be able to at least have some solid answers based on facts to compare it to the new information coming in to see if it clicks, to see if it matches. And I appreciate you coming on to discuss your thoughts with us. Thank you very much.
I'll stay in chat. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Okay.
Bye, Joey.
All right. We have Susie also joining us. Susie,
Hello,
you there?
Susie.
Yes, hello.
Yes. Hello. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. The one problem I have is the forensic evidence.
Okay.
I mean, nothing seems to have been hidden. It was all out in the open, yet there were not any pants found. Someone could have come in because the mother had called 911 on a break-in that morning and planted the evidence and then just walked away wearing the pants. That's just an idea I had.
Okay. All right. But not anything that you actually read or saw in the news reports or any kind of police reports that has been made public. You haven't come across that specific information, right?
Oh yeah, they have said what they found, and they did not find any pants.
Yeah,
Where
they
did
said
find
they
a
found
backpack?
shoes,
Where's that backpack?
hoodie, and shoes. They didn't find pants. And sunglasses, which don't look like sunglasses, what he's wearing.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I've worked with schizophrenics before.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, if they have religious delusions, sometimes they can be violent because they think they're hearing demons and stuff like that, which is kind of what you have in the Andrea Yates case where she killed her 5 children.
Right.
But the majority of schizophrenics are not dangerous. Even if they're paranoid and they go after cameras, still they're not dangerous. And he had just been released from a mental health facility the day before this happened.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Let me hold you up right there. One of the things about this term schizophrenia, okay, number one, without it being completely checked, investigated, and confirmed, whether that applies to this case directly, we have to hold off on the schizophrenia until it has been confirmed that it is a part of this case. It is a part of the condition of Darian Brown. And we'll be able to find out a lot more because when you say schizophrenia, we are talking about one word that is that holds a lot of ambiguity to it because there are various different degrees of schizophrenia out there, and we can't try to determine what type of schizophrenia Darian had because there's so many different types. There are subtle types, there are aggressive types, there are passive types, there are silent types, there are noisy types. Schizophrenia is just like life. It comes in various different degrees. So I don't want anyone to get into an area, especially a psychological or medical area, without having confirmation that that is a fact in this case. Once it does come about and they do state it's a fact, then we can begin talking about it.
Mhm.
You may just have a schizoid personality disorder.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's been thrown into the mix, and his attorney did mention that early when he picked up the case. So now he's got to put it on the table and identify what type or degree of schizophrenia, if it is involved in this case, does apply to Darian, does apply to this case. What causes and considerations of schizophrenia can he apply to Darian's state of mind, his mental countenance, his attitude, what Darian has done in school? All of that will come out and give us the information that we need to say, okay, it's on the table. Okay, this is the degree he's had. Okay, I could see why he did what he did, and everything else to follow. I don't know if everybody agrees with me, but that way we don't damage this case with a lot of hearsay, a lot of I can compare this to that, and we really don't have.
John, I'm so torn because he
foundation
didn't kill the neighbor. He punched him in the face. He killed a little kid. So it means he knew what he was doing. He couldn't kill that guy. He wasn't prepared.
Right. Well, that we have factual proof and evidence of in the police report. So yes, we can talk about that.
If he's a killer, he should have killed him to save himself.
Right. Okay, so I've been trying to bring my brother Boss Blake up here. I'm going to drop the link once again because we're starting to watch our time here. I want to try to keep the live short, but yet we're going to be doing a series of lives to continue our conversation into this area, because as information comes to us, we will be able to discuss and question and begin crystallizing what we've been looking at, what we've been hearing, what we've been reading. There've been a number of content creators, specifically Molly Golightly, doing one-on-one exclusive interviews. She's got boots on the ground doing live reports from locations and everything. Tiffany Marie working on additional information pertaining to a lot that's coming out of the Dallas Police Department, as well as a host of other parts of information that she's getting. So this stuff is coming in, and it's coming in early in the morning. And by the time we get it here in the afternoon, into the evening, into the wee hours of the morning, there's new information that comes right behind it. So,
Right.
yeah. So we
Okay,
have,
I
go
want
ahead.
to say one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
And then I'll drop off. The mother did state that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay.
And of course, if you're looking at dissociative disorder, that's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying Darian Brown wasn't involved. I'm just saying I feel like there's more to this case than meets the eye.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 1000% with you there. There is more to this case than meets the eye. Definitely.
Sure.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for jumping on board, and
Bye,
thank you
Susie.
for your thoughts and observations on covering this case. Mr. Boss Blake, if you got that link, I'll drop it one more time. It's like going fishing. I'm trying to get the boss up here, and I'm not using enough bait. All right. While we wait for Boss Blake, AB, when you first started this case and began reviewing the video surveillance footage, and of course you really get into the news part of it whenever they post the news online and things of that nature. You recently came across some recent updates, I guess, pertaining to the case. Did you get any recent updates earlier this morning?
I don't think he's up here.
Oh no, don't tell me you jumped down. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Looks
I'm
like we're the
looking-
only ones up here now.
Okay, so we got Boss up here. Boss, you finally made it.
No, John, I've been up there. I've been in your back room for like 20 minutes before everybody else even got up there. You never let me in.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
I even
All
left you
right.
a private message, man.
Yeah, no, you're blowing my phone up over here, so I'm multitasking with both left and right hands. But welcome, Boss Blake. He's a content creator on YouTube.
Hello.
Boss, starting with you, from what we've covered so far, what we've talked about so far, let us have it. Your feedback on what we've covered so far. The light in the window, Darian being the one in the room, Monica receiving the notifications on her phone up until the time we go to daylight, and now we see Darian in the flesh, in broad daylight, approaching Carter, touching Carter, saying something in the room, and then exiting.
I want to say this. I can't remember the young lady's name who just left off. I think she summed it up very well. What I seen is what I seen, and that's what your conclusion came to be. But I
Okay.
definitely feel like it's something else that we're missing. It's more than what we're seeing. So I agree with her 100%.
Okay.
I took the approach on this particular case as what I see is what I see. Because I know we tend, and I can say we because me, you, a lot of other YouTube content creators, we dig deep. And sometimes I think we put things there because we feel like it's something else. So I just took the approach of what I see is what I see. And that's how I approached this particular case. And that's why I figured it was DB the entire time. Because I just used what I seen, did my close-up shots like you do, which big shout out to you because you did a hell of a job in this case, too, John. But other than that, man, I'm not saying it's open and closed, but I do think they got the right person.
Right.
But is there someone else? I think it might be someone else.
Okay. And time will tell if there are additional people that is involved in this case. And I'm just going to mute Anne. I'm going to mute you. I'm going to mute Let's Talk News. So please forgive me for doing that. I want to try to reduce feedback as much as possible. I'm going to bring in Miss Harmony. She's been waiting in the background. Miss Harmony, you are on the panel.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Okay.
hear you loud and clear. But before you begin,
Yes.
I've got to address the chat because we've been up here talking, and I know that there are certain comments that have been flying up over the past half hour that I've been reviewing, and a lot of you are really putting out some great thoughts and comments out here. There was one. Let me see if I can find it. Jetted past very fast. And thank you, Doug, for your comments and insight on tonight's panel regarding this case. I appreciate you coming up. And it says, let's see, the reason they found no pants because they wouldn't fit Darian, but Cameron, they would fit. So, of course, no pants. Other comments in here. I hate people calling Cameron Special K. Very disrespectful. He hasn't been charged with anything yet, and no proof he was involved. Let's keep going because I want to try to get at least a couple of them in. Okay. Kimmy Craig says this is why people don't talk about mental illness, as people don't understand or wish to understand. Listen regarding mental illness. And I appreciate that comment because that's where I came in and said there are various different degrees when we talk about mental illness or the term schizophrenia that hasn't been put on the table yet. So I want to try to squelch that part until we get confirmation, complete confirmation. That's based on an evaluation from the proper medical authorities to give us that information. So let me just continue because we're working like a fox over here. And then we'll have Miss Harmony chime in a minute. Okay. I appreciate your input, Boss Blake, on that. Okay. All right, so we're going to continue because we got a little time kicking in. Wait a minute. I got a John Q highlight. Okay. All right. So, Miss Harmony.
Hi.
Welcome.
So I just want to say you're doing a terrific job, and I love everybody's perspective. It's so fascinating, and perspective is unique and on its own. So I want to jump into my perspective on the screen that you're showing right now. And if you have any questions that you want me to give feedback on what you've already talked about, I will. So as you see on this screen, and this is what bothers me a lot. So let's look at the curtain, the black curtain, okay? And we just see the black curtain, okay? Is everybody see just the black curtain? Yeah. All right. Now we see baby Carter standing there, and we see
Okay,
his.
so not to interrupt you, when you
Sure.
say black curtain, okay, are we talking about the curtain here underneath
Yes,
the window?
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So now I want you to just go to the blue blanket, please, in front of Carter. The blue blanket. Now, that was the blanket, if I'm correct, that Carter had over him. Am I correct to say that?
Okay.
Okay. So now what I want you to do is go back to the black curtain, and I want you to go to a little bit of your left and go to the white wall. White part of the wall. That's nope, right center. Okay. So I want you to just go up and down there for a second and just tell me, does everybody just see right from the top all the way to the bottom, please, John? All the way to the bottom. That's just a white wall. Is that correct? That everybody just sees a white wall, nothing else. Is that correct? Do you see it's only a white wall? All the way up to the bottom. Do you only see a white wall?
And what appears to be a white wall.
Yes. Nothing else is there, right?
This is what we see.
Okay. And so you only see the white wall and you only see a blue blanket, correct? In front of baby Cash.
That is correct.
Okay. Can you just now go to the beginning, if you have it on this film clip, to the nighttime? Okay, it's not
Do you need it there, or do you need it fully empty without the intruder?
I need it when just before he lifts the blanket off baby Cash. Okay, it's not.
Okay, this is the scene.
Yes, please. Can you roll it?
All right. So I can cue this back up. Cue this back up. Okay, so we have him standing.
Is there any
just before? Are you there, Miss Harmony?
Can you hear me?
Okay, it seems like Miss Harmony is having mic problems. You're having a very bad mic problem, Miss Harmony.
Hello?
So what we're going to do, Miss Harmony, yeah, you're having a very, very bad mic problem. It's almost like it's trying to connect but not connecting.
Am I?
Maybe you
can you
get
hear
that.
me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. But
Anyways,
now I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Now you pop back in. I can hear you now.
Okay, so I can't see very well, so you're really going to have to be my eyes a little bit but I remember. Okay, so when he is moving that blanket off of him, can you scroll it? Can you roll it, please?
Okay. Rolling.
Now this is odd.
Checking on Carter.
Right.
Placing both hands on the blanket. Right hand has got control. Oh, he's got
Okay.
control of Cash.
Okay. So did he already move the blanket off of him? You have to be a bit of my
We'll
eyes
go
here.
to that part once again. I'm trying to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the blanket there? Sorry, my eyes are just recovering. Okay, there.
So now
Stop.
here
Freeze
he's
it.
got the blanket in his hands. Right
Can
there.
you please freeze that? All right.
Yeah, it is frozen.
So, okay, thank you. All right. This is what's bothering me. He moves a blanket off of baby Cash. Baby Carter has another blanket on him, if I'm correct, which is the blue one, which we see at the end of when he's standing there.
Right.
My question is where's the blanket that he has now in his hand?
That he moved off of Cash.
Correct. Where
Okay,
is
so
that
we've got-
blanket? So help
Okay,
me
so
see if we can now. That's a good spot right there, because now we see a clear daylight. Okay, now you see what I'm saying? There's a blue blanket that was on baby Cash. You saw him lifting up a blanket. Sorry, there's a blue blanket that was laying over the top of baby Carter, and there was a blanket that we saw him lift off baby Cash. Where's
Mhm.
that Where's that blanket? Am I going bonkers?
no,
Is it
that
tuck-
blanket,
tuck-
yeah, it's a good question. That blanket
Mhm.
could still be in the bed. Maybe not visible to us because we're seeing this from a very acute angle in the room when we talk about looking at that crib, because the crib is also at an angle to our eyes. So if Carter is on his side as he is, and
Mhm.
he has that blue blanket on top of him now,
Mhm.
and the blanket that he got in bed with is behind him. Let's watch Carter get up. Maybe we'll.
So maybe what you're trying to say is it slipped down between that day bed part? Like, see how that board is? Are you saying that maybe baby Cash's blanket
Yeah,
is
it's a
low?
possibility. But what I'm saying is that blanket could be alongside the bed railing here in the back where we can't really see it. But let him get up and maybe we'll see something else.
Yeah,
He steps on Carter's side of the bed.
right. He should be almost stepping up right on the blanket. See where his little footy is? That's where the blanket was lifted up from
Yeah.
baby Cash. So
Right, I
where
got you.
is it? It's
So
driving
what
me
is the
crazy.
significance of the blanket?
Well,
Okay,
I'm
so
wondering
what is
where
the
it is.
significance of the two separate blankets? Okay. All right.
One, right. So
Okay, and
we
that's a
have
valid point.
one for each baby. I'm just curious as to where the other blanket is. But
Right.
and I don't know if it's dropped down. It's just something that I observed. Now the other thing is
Okay.
the Daily Mail has a different picture, so I can't really tell you what I saw, but I could send you the Daily Mail picture, or if you can remember. So I'll just give you a little brief.
Well, you can send me that picture. I would love to see it because then I can have it on my next live. And if you can join us,
Okay.
then we can make commentary on it.
Okay, because
Okay.
what I'm seeing, if you want, I'll just give you a 101. What I'm seeing is the curtain pole in the Daily Mail picture, and there's
Where it's
no
down off the
curtain
window
pole.
frame.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
remember
I saw
that?
that too. I saw
Okay,
that
so
too.
where is that?
Right. Now this is
I
after
don't
the
get
fact
it.
too. And it's
Wha-
after the fact
oh,
of the day scene that we're looking at right here, just before the police show up. And I wondered
oh,
about that myself. I
okay,
truly did. Why
okay,
that whole curtain rod was hanging diagonal.
okay.
Part of it was still on the windowsill, and then yet part of it was on the floor. And I said, it looked like somebody tore the guts out of that curtain.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, Okay, so I wasn't going bonkers, and
Oh, no.
I will keep in mind that the blanket will be potentially tucked down, because that would be considered evidence, right? Because
Right,
it was on the
absolutely.
baby. That was on the
Yeah,
baby.
so we have Anne up here. I just
Oh,
muted you, Anne. And we have Let's Talk News. If you had any final words before you depart from the platform,
Yeah, I just
Hello,
want.
John.
Go ahead. Go
how
ahead.
you doing?
Is she?
You can go first.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, Let's Talk News. Any departing words before we
Yeah,
allow? Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
This the only thing. The other thing I had was uh oh wait, let her go because I have to put my mind back to where I was. I'm
Okay.
Okay,
sorry.
all right. Bye, Anne.
Hi, I was just wondering, like, on the camera things, because I've seen, like, the notification, oh, she must have been asleep, but on the cameras, on the notifications, you turn
Yes,
them off on your phone. If you didn't, it would be like every single second your phone would be pinging and everything, because, I mean, you get, like, probably 300 in a 15 minutes of notifications if your camera's set on sensitive.
right.
So like on mine, I leave mine off. You know, I can go in my app and look at them, but I don't make it
Hmm.
so it don't sound on my phone.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't understand, like with that light on them cameras, every notification, like that light is going off every time. Or like, and it continuously records too, but the notifications is what it triggers it every time. Like anytime there's movement or anything on it.
Right.
And
Let me, let me ask you a question, Anne, since you brought that up. Um,
okay.
and this is, I don't want to speculate, but I want to just throw this out here as just food for thought. And this is for everyone. Being that our Arlo security system operates and sends notifications and texts to a cell phone, and it being as early in the morning as we've seen it to be, between 5 a.m. and let's say 7 a.m., just before the call to the police from the female jogger who found Cash out in the street at that time. Could it be possible that Monica did not have her phone, and yet someone else in the household did, and shut that notification off?
Well, I mean, if she's like me, like everybody I know that's got cameras, they do not leave
Hmm.
their notifications on their phone. You can open
Right,
the app and all your notifications are on there, but you don't make it where it automatically just starts, or your phone would go off 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It would never shut
right,
up
right.
because it triggers, like if a flies in front of it, it will trigger and go off.
Hmm.
Any little thing will trigger them to go off, and it would just be constantly. Now, like if you're away from your home, you would go in and change your settings where you know you would want it to come on and maybe not make it as sensitive, but most people leave it off.
Right,
And then you can
right,
just go in and look at your app.
right.
And another
Okay.
thing was about the pants, like said, oh, well, they didn't find the pants, that it must have been Cameron or whatever. It does not state that there was no pants. It just, they, on their affidavit, it's saying the blood was found on items, but it don't say they didn't have pants, because I mean there
Right,
probably was pants there, but maybe it didn't have blood on it. They approached the thing and told what blood was found on what items. They didn't say that what items wasn't found.
right,
You see what I'm saying? I mean, they didn't go say, oh, there was no pants. They just told what items
right.
had blood on them.
Hmm. Now, as a final point of the matter for tonight's live, black sunglasses had forensic trace evidence of blood. We've got the shoes having trace evidence of blood, and also the jacket, the Adidas
Right.
jacket, having trace evidence of blood. What do you think?
In that same affidavit too, that's got all that information in it.
It states
Yes.
plainly that they have videos, which they're not releasing them, videos of him going into the woods with the child. And then they have videos of him exiting the woods and placing the child in the road. The same affidavit, it says that there on the affidavit with the blood, but the clothes. So, I mean, I don't know what the discrepancy is. I mean, they have it on video of him going into the woods and out of the woods with
That's
cash.
what I heard that too.
It's in the affidavit. If you read the evidence affidavit, it says it plainly, and that's from law enforcement.
Right.
So they have videos. I'm sure they probably have videos all the way from the crime scene. I mean, from where they placed the body in the road all the way back to his house. I'm sure they stopped at every house through there and, you know, had videos of him going back to home and changing his clothes. That's probably how they figured out where his home was to get it, is because of videos.
They would also have to have
Showing-
very strong evidence to be able to place a charge
Yeah.
of capital murder.
Absolutely. Capital murder is not a charge that you can just sling around.
No.
Right.
It's yeah.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty, thank
I wish
you.
I wish I could. Well, thank you, Ann. Thank you for coming up and sharing your thoughts regarding this case. We will be covering it. We will be staying on top of it in a series. So, you know, you're welcome to come back when we do.
Thank you so much,
Bye-bye.
John Q. It's been great.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. We have next up Jennifer, Rebecca,
Good
and
night,
we've got
everybody.
Fred. I'm going to allow us to come to the panel and share their thoughts. So
Hey.
with that said, Miss Jennifer Rebecca.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
No echo?
No echo. You didn't bring one
Okay.
with you, did you?
I hope not. I have a question that not many people are bringing up, and it seems far-fetched. It really does. But wouldn't it be the perfect crime? Now, if you look at one of the black and white photos that you had brought up, or, you know, the night vision, a side profile of it. Now, say you were to put a wig on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that looks like Monica herself.
You said that in your comment to me too. And
I've read that in a couple places too.
Yeah. And I wrote that down just to for future reference to the point to where if I go back over those photos again, I'll go back to night vision. I want to see what Jennifer's talking about when she says it gives the appearance of Monica because of her hair, her forehead, the outline of her nose and everything else like that, because she does have a, you know, big nose. I would look at that again, but
yeah,
I
she has
hadn't.
deep set eyes, and when she's looking
Yeah.
down, even in her interviews, when she's looking down, I see that same profile, but I'm only seeing at a side profile. I've never seen another picture of Monica, her side profile, anywhere else. So if we can, like, if there's anybody knows how to, like, you know, take a picture and make it a side profile. I'm not really good at that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
if
think
we could figure that out.
Yeah, I think a superimposition, when you can superimpose a picture to take one picture, lay it over another picture, and then push them together to see if there is an identical match almost, that's what I love to do.
Yeah.
And that would be great to see too.
Yeah, I mean, it would be the perfect crime and nobody's looking at her. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they might be looking at her son or, you know, or Darian or, you know what I mean? But I just got a feeling, and I looked at that and I was like, whoa, that looks like Monica. And there's a reason why that night vision is much more blurry than everything else. It's so we can't make out what's what, you know?
Yeah, yeah. The quality of the video surveillance footage is definitely in a not so high quality, as was stated on the Arlo security system specifications that I went over. But good point. Fred, are you with us?
I am. Thanks.
Okay, welcome aboard, Fred.
Thank you.
Yes.
It kind of made me think a little bit there about what the previous caller was saying, but I think Monica had to go on a real quick diet and gain a lot of weight back real quick, huh? If that was a girl,
right?
I guess. But you know, hey, people have their own opinions. I want to go on and ask a question about. We can see clearly that he has on glasses, and some people say they're goggles or whatever, but we know that they did find dark colored glasses in his house, right? And his movements inside there, especially the one where his eyes are glowing, his hands on his head, and he's lifting the glasses up. And when he goes to the bed, they start to fall again, and he picks them back up. I don't think he's smelling his hand or listening to an earpiece. I think, in my opinion, he's picking those glasses up so he can make sure he can see where the kid's out to pick him up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point of observation.
And I
And
don't
as we mentioned in the first live, everything is based on perception. So that is a good point of observation.
have you seen the video where he's running across that gentleman's driveway in the daytime, and he's got a headband on, and his hair's bouncing?
No, I didn't get a chance to actually see that. If you have
Yeah.
a copy of it, you can send it to me, or you can post where you actually saw it in the chat.
Sure.
And I'll follow up with you. I'll also leave my email. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and do that just for those that want to. Let me see what I did with it. Okay. As a matter of fact, I've got my email scrolling in the room right now. So you'd be able to email that link or connection, and I can follow up on that. That's a good. I haven't seen that.
That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, Fred. Thanks for coming up and sharing your thoughts. Okay. So we still have Jennifer, Rebecca, and I can't. Oh, she did it already. Let's talk news. Any final words now?
Yeah.
Because I'm getting ready to boogie.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm still muted. Yeah, the thing I wanted to say was, is it possible? I mean, it's pretty possible, it's probable. Also, like, since he is kind of on the slow-mo, they could have easily put them clothes and put it in the bag and then said, DB, can you hold this for me? And then he brought it home. Because I haven't heard anybody
anything
say
is possible.
that. Yeah, it's very probable. I mean, like, I've seen lots of CSI movies, and that's a lot of stuff that I see. And I started thinking about that. Everybody keeps saying like they found it in his house, but how do we know it wasn't given to him and he took it home? Because not thinking about it, it's just like bag, and then, you know what I'm saying? And then he just put him in there, or even they gave it to him in a bag that, you know, like not even a duffel bag, but actual like a trash bag or something. And then he took them out, or maybe they said, just put it on your bed or whatever, or just anything. They could have told him anything. And then he just put it right where and then they end up finding it.
Right.
I'm just wondering,
right.
It's possible they did that.
Anything is possible up until we find out that is a confirmed fact that that's exactly what happened. And the Dallas Police Department, along with the investigators, bring that and put that on the table.
Right.
That's why I don't go any further than where the story is factually where I know it to be.
Right.
And then once additional facts come in, then I make a move on those facts as well.
Right.
We have another person coming up on the panel. I believe it is Dree. Dree, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, John Q. How are you?
I am doing good, Dree. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. I've watched so many of your videos, but I've never actually joined your panel. So thank you for letting me come up here.
Yes, you're welcome. What are your thoughts?
I just had two things I wanted to say. In my opinion, my personal opinion, you know, I know everybody has their own.
Yes.
But I was watching, I believe it was yesterday. I was watching an interview that somebody had with Monica's next door neighbor. And he was basically saying how Monica and the household that she lives in is a very nocturnal house, meaning they are up all night and sleep all day. So, you know, it kind of made me think, like, it's hard to believe that she has nothing to do with this, in my opinion. You know, it's just weird. And then, you know, there's a lot of, you know, allegations of drugs being involved. And obviously when you do those, you know, you are kind of up. So it would be kind of odd that out of all nights, you know, you're always up all night, and then this night you're actually sleeping. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I do know what you mean.
Another thing I wanted to point out in the video that you did, I believe a couple days ago or yesterday, it was the comparison video.
Yes.
And we were looking at, you know, the side profile, the hair, all of that stuff.
Okay.
I was thinking that Cameron's hair is longer than Darian's. His curls are longer. Darian has kind of like the baby twisties. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So if Darian were to wear a headband, I don't think personally that his twisties would touch his eyebrow, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because if he
Yes.
was to put on a bandana of some sort or a headband to raise his hair,
His hair would be very short.
yes. But then again, too, when taking a look at Darren's picture now, we don't know if that is an up-to-date, in the moment, in today's present picture that they posted for public viewing. That could have been a younger picture of him, could have been a school picture of him, could have been at any time, you know, give or take. Usually, if you ever notice when a politician is running for office, they use the youngest picture they can find. But yet, when you take a look at the politician today, they've got gray hair, they've got a facial hair, they've got, you know, all kinds of different type of features compared to the picture that they always show, you know.
Right.
And I always found that to be strange why they did that. So, in light of that, that could have been, or that could be the same situation now, where they showed one of Darian's school pictures, or if he had a driver's permit or a driver's license, it could have been a license picture. It could have been any kind of picture, but not in real time. For him to have had maybe short hair or short dreads, that would have changed the feature of what we actually see in the video. So I've always kept that on the table to keep in mind going forward. If they do release any recent pictures, I would definitely love to see those, and then do a comparison close to the date that this happened, May 15th, than anything else. So you bring up a very good point.
So when was it when he was breaking the cameras? Because they have a close up of him with his hair short, just as short almost.
Right.
And that doesn't look long enough either.
Yeah, which is the one that I believe was posted of him at the fence with the same shoes that they were saying that were the same shoes that he was allegedly wearing the time of the murder.
Okay, now is this at the memorial, or is this at what location is this? I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's at the it's like where he's trying to break into the home, I believe, where he's by the wooded fence. He has the gray.
Right. Okay, it looks like a day. It's in the daylight. It looks like it's in the morning or afternoon, and he's standing in front of the brown fence where he leans in, opens it up, and then takes a peek, pulls back, and starts to walk away rapidly.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And that was even tough to take a good look in terms of comparison, because the camera was at a different angle. So it did make him appear shorter. It did make his hair appear shorter. And it really didn't give me the kind of profile features that I was looking for, especially in comparing this particular video surveillance footage of him carrying cash out of the room versus him standing outside trying to take a sneak peek through somebody's gate. It was very hard to compare. And so that, therefore, I went to the close-up shot that the police had released, and to see if I can match up hairline, nose, lips, chin, solid physical facial features, and try to compare to the solid physical facial features that I see in the surveillance footage. And I'm still working on that because I'm comparing other photos that I have been able to find of Darian to this video surveillance footage to see if I can match it up even better. But just with what I have, and as I said before, it's just my opinion, it appears to be Darian Brown in my comparison analysis so far. Other pictures, until I'm satisfied that I've gone through them all, it's just given me the appearance that it is him. Once again, we go back to our key word that started this video series. Perception plays a very important part.
So this picture that says Sunday, May 16, 2021, that's not his picture. That's not a new picture or anything. Is that an old picture as well?
Which picture are you talking about again?
It says Darian Brown mugshot source, Dallas County Jail, and it says May 16, 2021.
Okay, so if you have that picture, you're laying eyes on that picture now. You see the video surveillance footage in front of you. Is it him?
It's supposed to be. It looks like Darian from the picture, but you're saying does it match the one that's on the night vision?
Have you ran it? Have you tried to match that picture that you see with the video surveillance in front of us?
Right. Well, if you look at the video, you can see those are actual curls in the hair. The braids he has are tiny, like they're tiny, and as well as the sideburns, like the side of. So basically, what it is it's almost like getting a big mohawk when you like African American hair, because my son had hair like that. You pull the hair back, they have it shaved on the sides, all like almost to the, I guess you could say to your to the temples almost, and the rest of it kind of lays over the hair, right? So his hair wouldn't have made wouldn't have made sideburns, literally wouldn't have made sideburns. And then the hair is up to it's actually over his eyebrows, and it's basically the same as that other picture. And it doesn't look as long as his are like literally on his eyebrows. There's no way he could have did that. Even with a headband, you couldn't even smash it down to that.
Okay. But if you go back and rewatch tonight's live, or you want to get my email address, I've got it posted in the room. Send me what you have. Let me take a look at exactly what you have. It sounds like you've got something there that I haven't laid eyes on yet, and I'd be very interested in doing so. So we're going to get ready to close up here because I'm getting ready to make my next move here.
and one more thing before I go. I did see some videos of Cameron and some other African American little boy, and they were throwing up gang signs.
Okay. And so this is a picture?
Those pictures as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Send them. You can send them as a group, or and give me specific labels of identification as best as you were able to do it, and then send them to me, and I'll be able to review them and, with your permission, make them a part of the live.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right. Yes, you're welcome. I'll be looking for you.
I will definitely do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye. Okay. And there we have it. We have had a pretty good discussion to warm things up in tonight's live. The story unfolds. We have talked about points of view from various different folks that came up on the panel. I do apologize for not being able to read a lot of your comments, but I will be going back over the live and including them in the next upcoming live. We still have a lot to talk about. We still have information still coming in as to where this is going and how it's going to end up. Darian's in jail. He's facing a capital murder charge. And it seems like the evidence is coming in little by little by little, and it's starting to tighten the ropes around this case. Are there others involved? That will begin to reveal itself as the evidence comes in. Let's see. I hope we've discussed something tonight that enlightened you. We're going to continue these discussions going forward. For those that have something that they want me to take a look at, you do have my email address. You could send it to me. I'll review it, look at it, and if it fits the overall subject matter of the live, I will include it in the live, and definitely give you credit for whatever materials you send me as well. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight and spending time with John Q on this tragic, very tragic story concerning Cash Gernon. We're still working hard to piece together what we can as we get it and deliver it in a way to where it's easy to understand, because I'm a visual guy. I'm an auditory, kinesthetic type of person. And based on what I see, based on what I hear, it's got to click, it's got to match. And then I run it through prayer to see if everything clicks and matches. And then I come back and deliver it, as I have. So with that said, well, thank you, Shea Works. And thank all of you for coming. And I do appreciate all of the appreciations that you guys have given me, which are the big thumbs up that John Q is a part of this case. It helps me to do my work too. For those that truly enjoy the content that I attempt to bring and share with you concerning the Cash Gernon case. With that said, I'm going to run. I've got one more errand to do, and then I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. We'll be back with another live that'll move us closer to the next step in this case, new information in this case, and we'll bring it back and share it with you. So with that said, thank you. Thank you all for joining me. And with that said, as I always say, be well and stay blessed with Godspeed. Until next time, take care.